Hello and welcome back to our ArchiCAD tutorial series. So in this first part of the floor plan development, I will wish to acknowledge the fact that we need to develop a house outline that will enable us to bring the floor plan into a nice and an accurate shape. So the first thing that we'll do is to first enable a construction grid so that we are able to develop each and every part of the plan in a more accurate manner. As you can see, you'll realize that we have a white background, and in order to populate this workspace, we will need to present a display that is more construction friendly and that is more appealing as far as the development of the floor plan is concerned. So how we'll do that is to locate the menu bar. So under the menu bar, we'll go to a view, then we'll click on it, then we'll locate the construction grid display and then click on it, and you'll realize that now the view is different and you'll be able to see the grid display in action. So the next thing that we'll do is to find a way of editing that particular grid, of course based on your want. So in this case, we'll be able to go back to the view under the menu tab and then click on grid and editing plane options, then locate grid and background. Then a dialog box or a pop-up window will be displayed there. Then you'll be able to see that you're able to customize it as far as your needs are concerned. So in this case, I'll just change my zoom to 25. Then I think my spacing, I think 50 is okay for the spacing. That is the nudge. Then also we'll uncheck or rather leave rotate grid as it is. Then we'll also look at a way of allowing the background to remain white and the grid ends let them remain gray, of course for the sake of legibility. I think that is okay. Then we'll also leave the spacing to be 2000 and the steps to be 1 for each. That is for both the horizontal and the vertical. Then once that is done, you will click OK, and that is now what we have as our construction grid display. Then the next thing that we'll need to do is to simply draw an interior or an exterior house outline, and with that we'll use the line tool. So where we locate the line tool is we'll simply go to the menu tab again, click on it, then locate the documentation tools, and then we'll click on line. So you'll see that the different tools that are in the documentation part, but the line tool is the most critical element as far as drawing of interior and exterior outlines is concerned. So once you've ensured that your line is in display, check on the info box. Check on the info box, because this is the part where you will be able to do your editing first before we even begin drawing the house outline. So for me, I'll click on the drop down menu under the info box, check on the type of line that we want. So for me, I'll use the structural the structural cut line, not the separator line. Then I'll leave it at that. Then I'll come back to the geometry method and I'll ensure that we have the single one, of course, because these other ones are used for complicated outlines, and also for the rectangle this is more fixed. But for when it comes to the single one, I'm able to customize it. I'm able to run different lines, and annotating it will become even easier. Then on the line type, of course I'll use the solid line for the sake of legibility. And as far as the color is concerned, I'll change that. I can let me use, I think, 7. 7 is more dark, so that means it will be very legible. So I think that is well and good. As far as the arrowhead is concerned, I'll only use none. So these ones are used especially when you are displaying direction. So when that particular uh, case is now over, I'll go to the rectangular box with dimensions. I'll go to the rectangular box with dimensions. So in that particular case, um, I'll ensure that the standard menu bar is in terms of the guidelines, in terms of the snap guides and the height trackers are active or are checked. Of course, that is now to enable me have distinct direction on where I am heading to. Then the next thing that I'll do is to ensure that I'll draw a rectangular box first. I'll draw a rectangular box that is allowing me to kind of adjust the settings in a fixed way, because when you have a rectangular box, you have a length, a defined dimension to it. So in that particular line, let me have a chained method so that I'll be able to have an already dimensioned line. Let me use dimensions of let me use 10, and in this case let me also use 10. Sorry, let me use 10. Perfect. So we have just drawn a house outline using the line tool, and I want to zoom in and out to ensure that all the corners are well uh, conjoined with the others. So this is the first part of the house outline, and stay tuned in the next tutorial so that we'll be able to do more of that. Thank you.